Right, 3, 2, 1. That's for sound reasons. Hello and welcome to the first video of Breakthefilm. Jink. So thank you for our 500 and something subscribers. We don't know any of you, but that's okay.
We love you.
Yeah, it's fine. We like you. You'll do. But we are here thinking, do you know what we said to ourselves when we first started this? Like, it was a bit of fun, and we still do it for a bit of fun. But if we ever got to 500 subscribers or so, we would make a video, and that's what we're doing.
It's not a sex video. Just so you're aware.
True. It's
Not a sex. Not yet.
But you got Awow, D-rock, Awow. We decided for our first video, we've been going nearly a year, and the best thing to do would be a year summary of what we've seen, what we've done, what we like, and what we don't like, and what we thought was shit, and what we thought was fucking great. So
we're basically going to take a big old dump on everything we don't like, and we're going to like love up everything we love. So yeah, get used to it. Chink.
What Awow said. So I will start. Why not? So we've had many. We're going to start with TV because TV's shitting in film. So we'll start with TV, and I'm going to go with the best to start with is Daredevil season 2.
Ooh, interesting choice.
Elaborate.
I love it. I mean, I can't tell it. I can't say that it's not a great series. I don't necessarily agree that it's the best thing to come out this year. But I love it. I mean, I love the introduction of the Punisher. I think that's fucking fantastic. I love, the direction they've taken. It's basically changed the fucking game. Daredevil's changed the game for Marvel kind of television presence. I mean, they had Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. prior to this, and they've carried that on. But it's just awful. I mean, I think it's awful. I've not watched it a huge amount. I've watched what I've seen, and I honestly don't think that they even compare. I mean, they've taken a completely different direction with Daredevil, and same for everything else that's come out. Jessica Jones. They've done the same for for Luke Cage as well to an extent, and it's they've taken this more realist sort of approach, I think, and I think, but Daredevil still kind of leads the pack.
This is why I liked it, because it took that realistic approach. Like it took like you got your A-listers, you got your Avengers, you got your Tony Stark, you got your Spider-Man, well, coming out Spider-Man, but you got your Tony Stark, you got your Captain America, and they went, do you know what? We have got our, they're not even B-listers, they're maybe C-listers. You've got your street crew, what it is, and and they didn't make Daredevil to be out this great thing. They made him out to be a regular guy on the street, and that's what I like. He's
literally just like taking hits. He's like fucking dishing them out as well. But I don't know if it's better than the first series.
By the way, don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. They're shite. Worst reviews in the world. If you want a example of why, Batman and Superman, it's not a great film, but it's better than what they gave it, and it did make over $700 million. So go do one. Sorry, don't listen to that shit. And then there was this anti-hero, like the fucking Punisher, and that's what made the show the Punisher. Like, he came in and he was the bad guy, but he was doing good, and he agreed with it. Like, there was a lot of moral things. It was just really well done, and for that reason alone, I went, do you know what? Daredevil season 2 gets my vote as my favourite. In my opinion, I'm not your opinion because you're all losers and you have no idea. In my opinion, was the best show of the year to watch. And by the way, there's a few shows in my opinion that could have made that, which was no, fuck it, Daredevil's the only one. The rest I was so disappointed with, which I'll get to later.
So moving on to my favourite 2016 TV show, and I got to give it to Stranger Things. I know that a lot of people have bummed this TV show, and I know that Dune has given me this serious look, like he can't believe what I'm saying right now. But and to be honest, when I first watched it, I was literally like, I was, what the fuck? I didn't get into it in the slightest. But I have to say, watching the entirety of this series, I loved it. I absolutely cannot speak highly enough of this series. In case any of you haven't watched it, it harkens back to the 80s. It's sci-fi. It's it's just brilliant. I mean, I love anybody who's looked at our Twitter feed, anybody who's read any of our kind of like our blogs about films. They know that how much of a fan I am about the 80s, and this just feeds into that in such a massive way. Even the kind of like opening credits sort of like scene is literally just I have a massive orgasm every time I see it. I don't really know where they're going to take the next series, honestly, because
who cares?
It feels kind of self-contained, but they have opened it up to a sequel, and obviously they are making one because it's so massively successful. So we'll see where it goes, but I think it could have been its own sort of self-contained series. But as is the way with a lot of these things, it's gonna it leads on to sequels. It's gonna there's gonna be more to it.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, Dune's probably got a little bit of a feedback on that. I think I've seen a few episodes at least.
I watched the whole season.
He watched the whole season, so he's probably got his own kind of like. I don't really want him to.
Shut your dick holster.
Yeah, he's
and here we go. So, why I don't like that show? Stranger Things. It's weird because it's. Alright, I agree with Awow. The 80s aspect of it, they really did get down to a T. I mean, wow, like, well done.
Super detailed,
yeah,
right?
I give it that, well done. But the characters I just couldn't connect with. Like, okay, the cop, like, you're the hero? Why? Like, why are you a hero? Like,
he's not the hero, though. He's not the hero.
The mother, oh my god, she's got to shout all the time. Like, it was good, but it's not. It's good.
It's nice to see.
It's not the best.
It's nice to see Winona Ryder getting some work these days, right? It's nice to see her getting some work. She's not just like supplanting her lifestyle by stealing stuff, which is good because she needs to get some work.
Yeah.
Right,
All right. Moving on. Winona Ryder, get in contact. Sue us what you want to do. We got 500
phone number. We haven't got.
We changed the world.
We haven't got an email address.
Yeah, true. Actually. Right. So we've done our best. We're going to go to
worst, right?
Worst. Well, not worst. The word worst is a bit harsh. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, most
I think that's
disappointing.
probably the best way to describe it.
I have a funny feeling we might agree on it. We might not. But I'm going to say mine first, and I'm going with Luke Cage.
Oh snap!
You got Luke Cage?
Nah, Luke Cage, motherfucker!
Let's high five shite. Like, that was fucking shite. Like,
this is my surprise. So keep going with that shit, because we go for it.
Alright, number one, the acting was terrible.
Yes.
Number two, Cottonmouth as a bad guy. Kingpin, brilliant. Cottonmouth, you're a little peasant down here, and you're fighting a much more stronger good guy.
Yeah.
Like, but what are you doing, fucking Marvel? Like, three, in a barbershop quartet. Alright, knock yourself out.
Yeah, wait, go for it.
Yeah, alright, do what you want. Like, four, way confused what's going on and why it's even relevant to the whole storyline. Like, okay, well, carry on. Right.
Also, Diamondback. Like, I'm sorry.
Diamondback, that fucking clown.
What the fuck? I mean, they went from Cottonmouth to Diamondback. I'm sorry. What the fuck were they thinking? It's like, this is an improvement. They thought it was like, oh yeah, let's go from a guy who's a regular sort of like gangster to a guy who's wearing a not even that super suit. Was that good idea?
Once again, do you know what we said? Daredevil, aka you got your C class hero and B, and they made him really street level.
Yeah.
What the fuck did they do with Luke Cage, who is a superhuman, who can do major shit, and let's put him on the street against inferior people, but make them better than him? Like,
if any of you have seen like the original sort of like Diamondback costume, you know that the costume from the Luke Cage series is very closely modelled on the old school sort of like, the old school Diamondback costume, and it looks fucking ridiculous. I mean, they've done a lot of work to try and modernise and make like Luke Cage feel contemporary, and they give it like a harken back to his old sort of like costume with the whole headband and the fucking yellow kind of like blouse type thing and all that kind of and the bracelets and all that kind of stuff. And it was done in a kind of like a funny sort of like a jokey sort of way. And then they bring out Diamondback, and he's wearing very similar sort of clothing to how Diamondback was back in when Luke Cage first came out, and it's ridiculous. It's they've done so much, they worked so hard to make Luke Cage feel like a contemporary hero, you know, someone who's relevant now rather than just like, you know, being like a, you know civil rights sort of like hero, and it just feels like they're taking steps back with like making Diamondback feel like that. It's like it was cool when he was like a cold-blooded killer, and you just needed to kind of like make him more kind of like lethal almost in that sense.
You weren't threatened by Diamondback.
No. When he donned that suit, you know, he was threatened when he was firing those Judas, those Judas bullets and stuff. That was fucking hardcore.
Like, fucking, he put his hands up. It's like, yeah, shit, I'm in trouble here, mate.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
And then they brought this suit, and it was just like, really? This is what you got? This is the best you can fucking deal out?
But and Awow likes the show. I don't at all. Jessica Jones. I think it's shite, but I think it was better than Luke Cage. But I think it's shite. And you see Luke Cage in that for the first time, and you're like, wow, this guy's a bad motherfucker. Like, look at this guy. Like, fuck me. And then you come and then I read up about the guy who played him. Can't remember his name. That's how much of an influence he left. But he also, I heard he did a Halo thing. He was a voice in Halo, or a face in Halo, and he was so bad at the acting that they dubbed his voice over with someone else. That's how bad he was.
That's pretty terrible.
And that's a computer game, man.
Because they literally that's all about voice. It's all about voice acting. Kind of all about the whole thing. That's the whole bag. That's the whole bag.
Yeah, I know. So you got a bag full of shit. You give him a shit pile of money, and you get shit. And that's what you get. So shit. Luke Cage. If you're bored and you want a pile of shit, watch Luke Cage.